Hello students. Today I will illustrate about changing of landforms due to external process. Here we have some points of discussion like gradation, aggradation, degradation, weathering, erosion, deposition, formation of land, landform in deserts, landform in mountains, soil profile, conservation of soil and recapitulation. Students, as you know, we are living on the surface of the earth. It is having two parts, crust and the lithosphere. On the crust, we are having a thin layer of soil cover. This soil cover changes its shape, size and soil content due to some natural process. These processes are known as external and internal process. In this chapter, we have to go through all external process. The external process are classified in aggradation and degradation, weathering, erosion and deposition. These all process go through by wind, water and water waves. Thus, we can say these natural processes are the various agents of gradation. They tend to level the land surface to a common grade by increasing or decreasing it. According to previous information, we can say the aggradation is the process that involves the accumulation and deposition of rock fragments, sand, alluvium, etc. are shifted by the external forces to form the various land surfaces. On the other hand, degradation leads to the erosion. This process involves the lowering of the earth's surface. It erodes the topsoil along with the rock fragments from one place to another by the action of water and wind. This degrades one landform and simultaneously aggrades the another one. As a result, surface layer continues to remain unaffected. Students, in the picture you can observe the weathering of the land cover by temperature, pressure and chemical actions, atmospheric condition of a place, etc. that changes the landscape and formation of soil. These are basically categorized in physical, chemical and biological process. In the physical or mechanical process, weathering takes place due to temperature changes and action of frost. This leads to expansion and squeezing of rocks, which helps to break up the rocks. The rocks further decay and break up due to diluted acids in rainwater, which cause the chemical reaction in degradation of the land surface. On the other hand, biological weathering takes place from roots of the plants, burrowing of animals. The plant's roots penetrates in the rocks and breaks up the rocks into small pieces. Certain human activities are also involved in the biological weathering. Students, as we know, the process to erase leads the erosion. It means the land surface or topsoil are transported from one place to another by the action of natural agents like wind, water and water waves and moving ice. It carries the loads from the upland and deposits it in lowland areas. On the other hand, deposition leads to upgradation and increasing the land surface. These are occurred due to dumping of rock debris from the upper land to lower land. These debris and silts are further decomposed that makes the fertile land cover and helps to form the even land surface. Now we have to go about the formation of land. As you know, there are different types of landforms existing on the earth. Our country is very rich in wide ranges of land covers like mountains, plains, deserts, plateaus, coastal plains, and islands. In the north of our country, we are having the wide range of Himalayas, which consist of gorges, steep hills, valleys, glaciers, etc. In the middle course, the Himalayas, numbers of meanders are there which used to divert the path of the various perennial rivers originate from the Himalayas. When the river flows from the upper course to lower course, the streams cut the land surface between the two mountain ranges to form the steep wall that turns into valley and gorges. Both sides of mountain ranges create a higher barrier and provide the path to flowing of river streams. The Grand Canyon in the Arizona Kali Gandaki Gorge are the examples of upper course landforms. Students, as you know, the people mostly live in the plains because of comfortable environment. Plains are also have vast range of fertility and ideal for all developments. In the northern part of our country is extended a large area of plains from Punjab to Bengal. This area is most fertile for agriculture. Do you know how does it create? It is created due to drainage of silts and debris from upper course and middle course and lifts up the level of the land that leads to formation of floodplains. The riverine landforms are mostly existed near the banks of perennial rivers. The perennial rivers flows through riverine land form and floodplains where its speed gets decreased and further drains in the large water bodies called oceans. At the river mouth where it adjoins with oceans, the streams get break into many channels and these narrow channels help to deposit the back silts from ocean and the rest silts of the river form the triangular shaped island is called delta. Ganga Brahmaputra delta is the most largest delta in the world. Now observe the picture. These sides are the natural landform of the lower course. Here the streams are adjoined with the large water bodies. So such land covers exist near the ocean shores. These land covers are mostly formed due to oceanic waves. As the waves come towards the land and break on its shore, they erode the land and carry the material away. Where rocks on the shores are soft, marine erosion pushes back the shoreline and carves the sea cliffs. These cliffs further turns into steep vertical rock facing the sea. The Cape of Good Hope and the cliffs of Dover in England are the best examples. On the contrary, the sea waves also deposit the sand and eroded material along the shore, which forms a spit whose one end is usually attached to the mainland and lifts up the other sides to form a pocket shape that collects the sea water through its inlet during high tides. These are called backwater or lagoons. Students, now we have to travel in the desert. You can observe different landforms in the desert area like mushroom rocks and sand dunes. As you know, in the desert, very less amount of water or no water sources are exist due to extreme temperature and very less or no rain. Here, the land covers are formed due to the blowing of fast and dry winds, which erode the surface from one place and deposit to it another place. These strong winds carry loose sand particles which acts as a tool scraping and polishing rocks to form different features and shapes are called mushroom rocks or rock pedestals. Due to same activity, the eroded sand particles deposits near the water source forms an oasis. This make a shape of a large pond where it is surrounded by some greenery. The sand dunes are also formed in this way. When the wind blows in a direction, the sand particles deposits in a crescent shape at a place is called dunes. These dunes are not static. It changes its shape due to direction of the winds. The another important landform that exists on the earth are the glaciers and the icebergs. These landforms are mostly formed in extreme frigid zone near the polar latitudes. Here in the higher altitudes, rainfall takes place mostly in the form of snow. These snow fields are then formed the mass of ice and skids slowly on the surface due to action of gravity from upland to lowland areas. Later it drains into the perennial rivers and moves towards lower latitudes. These huge masses are called glaciers and helps to form gorges and steep valleys on its flowing route in the upland surfaces. In the mountains, a glacier carves deep hollows, forming armchair shaped depression known as corrie or in the Scotland and Cirque in France. These glaciers further turns into icebergs when it breaks up from the massive solid ice content and flows through the valley. It erodes the debris, silts, rock pebbles and loads along with it is called moraines. The way where it flows in the mountain areas forms the U-shaped valley. Students, I think now you have aware about the different landforms, but the most important thing is to locate and observe about soil profile because soil profile sustains the nutrient in the ground. This is an invaluable resource to retain the biological life. As you know, the soil are formed with different ingredients like silts, breakdown of rocks in the tiny particles, water, organic matters, humans, etc. These consist the soil profile layer after layer on our crust. We are having different horizons of soil layers as topsoil, subsoil, and solid rocks. On the topsoil, all eroded materials used to deposit and increase the fertility. This is the most important horizon of the soil profile. The subsoil consists of less content of fertility and humus. Here, organic matters get decreased gradually. The last horizon of soil is called solid rocks, has a very less content of soil particles and the other nutrients. This is the layer having the large amount of minerals. This helps to provide the humus and organic content to the topsoil. Now we have to go for importance of soil conservation. You know that all biological life exists on the surface of the earth. On the same track, all natural activities takes place on the surface of the earth, which stands to reform the soil and its fertility. Without fertility, we can't grow the crops for our survival. You know, all the procedures are dependent on the plant for their source of food, and we are the consumer who consume the producers in our food habit. So we have to take extra care about its conservation. We should not pollute the soil by any means. We have to let the agricultural land covers to gain fertility. For this sake, we have to ensure about afforestation that turn our land covers fit for cultivation. We should also look for the use of biological manures that may help to conserve its fertility. As we have observed the different landforms and its utility and importance in our life, we can easily say that there is no existence of life without landforms, as most of the creatures can survive on the surface. All living organisms are thus adjusted themselves on different land cover areas used to dwell and smoothly sustain their life. So it is our prime need to conserve our landforms. Now this chapter is over. You have to go to its question and answers and exercise. Thanking you all.